Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Kirsten and today we have a very exciting video. So first off, I just took off all of my makeup, which usually I would start this video with makeup on, which can only mean one thing. We have something to try out today while putting on our makeup, and that is the Spectrum and KJH brushes. You guys, I'm so excited about this. I have been tracking this package like crazy and DHL just brought it to my door. So I'm going to go ahead and unbox it with you guys, and then I'm going to go take pictures of all of the brushes before I get them dirty. Then I'll be back and we will make a full face of makeup with these, I'm sure, gorgeous brushes. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. I'll show you first the packaging. Oh goodness, I'm sure you guys have all seen this. I mean, it is just stunning. It's got some beautiful looks. I mean, look at this one, holy cow. All over the outer packaging. So pretty. And then this part obviously is just cardboard, but you can reuse this for something. And then we've got the brushes. Also, I feel like my face is like super oily. It's fine, it's fine. I just washed it to take my makeup off so that we could put makeup back on. But oh, it smells brand new. Like, it just smells so good. So anyways, it's got their emblem kind of like embossed or pressed into this, and then we've got some little latches on the side to make it a cup. I'm so excited about this. Okay, it's got the Spectrum little logo on either side here, and let's just get into it. All right. I'm so excited. It comes like this with a towel. The towel has their lovely logo on it. I think this is beautiful, and I'm holding it upside down. So here's that, and it's soft. Usually microfiber cloths, I can't stand the feeling of them. I think because my skin is so dry, it just can like kind of stick or something to my skin. I don't know. If you guys feel that way, let me know. My husband thinks I'm weird, but this one feels pretty soft. It's not like too gritty or anything. She just thought of everything. Okay, so let's just jump into the brushes. Here they are. Oh my goodness. So a little bit about these brushes. It costs roughly around $230 US, and that is extremely expensive overall. However, I kind of justified it by, I've been wanting some smaller face brushes. So specifically, I really like Katie Jane Hughes' style, which, do you guys know? KJH is Katie Jane Hughes. She's a makeup artist. She's awesome. She's got an Instagram. She does a bunch of live videos. I'm sure you all know like about her channel. That's probably why you clicked on this video. But anyways, I will leave her Instagram link down below, as well as the Spectrum website. These are sold out right now, but they will be restocking. I believe they said in May or June. And they're also going to come out with some smaller collections, but this specific one has, I think, 21 brushes in it. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Also, if you average out these brushes, it is roughly $9 a brush. And then I thought about it like that. So you essentially get a free case and towel. But you could factor those into the price as well if you wanted to. So let me go ahead and take them out of this because it's really loud, and I'll be right back. Here they are. Okay. This is awesome. I am so excited. Oh my gosh. These are so soft, like seriously. Ooh, I'm ready to feel the bigger ones. So the larger brushes have these little things on them to keep them protected, which I did see that she suggests if you got this or if you're going to purchase it, to save these little things. She even said that you can, let me take it off. You can even cut it in half, and then when you wash your brushes, you can put them back on and it will help make the shape come back like it should be. Holy moly. This is such a nice brush. If you guys haven't seen any materials or whatever about these brushes, she made them to be numbered, so like 1, 2, 3 and up and everything, versus labeling them as like an eyeshadow brush or a crease brush, foundation brush, blunt. You get the point. She is a big believer and proponent and advertiser that this is an art. Like makeup, eyeshadow, everything is an art, and so she designed these after artist brushes, and she even put that on her outer packaging. It says, taking inspiration from art store painter brushes, as that's what makeup is after all. So I just think that the idea of this is amazing. It's really just inspired by being creative and, you know, just letting your creativity just go where you want it to. And it's not limited to an eyeshadow brush. So let's just go ahead and walk through these brushes. Okay, starting out, let's just walk through the first 6 brushes. So they kind of work their way from like the largest brush to the smallest, I believe. So the first one is this one, and like I said, they're not labeled. Okay, I believe the next 4 are, yes, okay. So we've got number 2 and 3 here, and then 4 and 5 here. So these are the same brush, except one is like your standard brush, and then this one here is a duo fiber version of that same like shape and everything. So it's just not quite as densely packed. And then the 4 and 5 brushes are exactly the same. We've got the angled version though. So this one is the 4, and then this one's the 5. This one's more densely packed, and this one is a duo fiber brush. So they are the same shape. Again, all of these are exactly as soft as one another, so I'm not going to be talking about that anymore. But number 6 is this more like flat pointed brush. So the number 7 brush is this one here, and it is a pretty dense but shorter rounded brush. So again, you could use this for a lot of things. I'm thinking this would be like a really nice, really pointed concealer brush for a very specific area. Next up, we have the number 8, which is the brush that there are 2 of. And I want to mention, this is not a big deal to me. This, like I said, there's 2 of them. This is what it looks like. This one here has a little straggling hair. I hope you guys can see that. My skin is light, so this doesn't really help with a light bristle. Yeah, but it does have, let me put it up against the towel. Can you guys see them? Like just a little hair right here. But what happened is it looked like it got bent down, and so when they cut it, it's not cut. So I will have to take a pair of scissors and just cut that, but the shape of it is still there. It's just, it didn't get cut. So I do want to mention that things like that happen. It's not like the bristles are going any other direction, and it's not a big deal to just cut that one little piece. Also, she put 2 of the same brush because she felt like this was the most used shape in her collection, and she also asked some of her followers which one they would like to have 2 of. Moving right along, we've got the numbers 9 and 10. This one I have seen kind of blow up. Like everyone that talks about this is talking about this specific brush, and it's really great for like cleaning up your liner here. Oh, I needed to run my hand through that before I did that. Can you guys see that? Like, made my eye water a lot. Like, now that I've done this, it is a lot softer, but you should wash your brushes before you use them. I'm not gonna do that. I'm sorry if that bothers you, but I just really want to use them, and I don't want to wash them and then wait for them to dry. But now that I did that, it is extremely soft. I'm just a mess. So anyways, this brush is great for that. I've also seen people say that it's great to like do your brows. My brother's gonna be mad at me, but I just declined his call. Okay. Anyways, I've also seen Katie say that if you've put too much product in your brows, you can use this and like clean it up. So this has a lot of purposes, and I personally don't own a brush that is anywhere near this style. The last of this little set is the number 10 brush, and it's just like a giant crease brush. So again, you could use this for like concealer or powder underneath the eyes, or you could use it on the eyes. You can use it for anything. So that's a great shape as well. We've got a lot more brushes to work our way through, so I'm going to try and be speedy. Yeah, this is gonna be a long video. So I thought about doing 2 separate ones of like a look using these, or just putting it all in one. And I feel like putting it all in one's better. You know, I can put a timestamp below for you guys if that's all you're wanting to watch, but I figured I would just put it all together. So yeah, let's go ahead and just run through these really quickly. All right, the number 11 brush is this one here, and it is similar to the previous one, but it is just a bit smaller. So the number 12 brush is this like more like a standard flat shader brush. Again, use these for anything, but that's typically, I think, what that shade would be, or that shape would be. Okay, number 14 is this one here. I jumped out of order there, but this is number 13, and this is what this one looks like. Number 15 is this one. This is number 16. So here we have 17, 18, and 19. These are like my favorite shapes ever. I have pretty small eyes, and so in the crease I need like a really small brush. So yeah, I'm excited that there's like 3 options here. And even the next 2, or the next, let's see, what number is this one? Number 21 would work for that as well, like very smally. And then number 20 is more of a flat brush here. 21, I am so excited to try this brush out, okay? This is like, I've never had a brush like this. It is obviously going to be perfect for some like graphic liner. Holy cow. This literally feels like nothing on your skin. Like, it is just the thinnest brush. So I would definitely say be careful with this one, maybe even keep that plastic piece on there. But I'm very excited to try that one out. Number 22 brush, which is similar to that. It's a little bit shorter and a little bit more dense. And then the last brush, which I misspoke, it is a 24 piece set, not 21 piece set, is this 23 brush, and it is double-sided. It's got this angled brush here and a spoolie on the other end. I've heard a lot of people say this is like the best brush ever for your eyebrows. It's a little bit like curved. I'm trying to use the wall as a background instead. Hopefully you're able to see this, but my skin is about the same color as the bristles, so it is a little bit hard to show, but it is just a little bit curved and it's angled on this side, so hopefully you're able to really see that. I'm gonna go take some pictures of these brushes before they are completely ruined with my makeup. I know you can wash them, but like before I get them all dirty. So yeah, anyways, I'll be right back and we will do a full face of makeup. All right guys, I got some cute pictures of them. I've been trying this new thing of like taking pictures of like pretty makeup products with our new garden with like some pretty flowers, and I was like, these are green, this is like the perfect opportunity. You guys, I dropped all of them. Okay, they're okay. I picked them up immediately and like counted to make sure that I had them all. Leave it to me, you guys, leave it to me. We do in fact have all 25 brushes, so here they are in all their glory. I did decide for this video I am not going to try and like recreate one of her videos, or else this is going to be like 2 hours long. So we're just going to do like a pretty simple makeup look, I think, and then in another video I can always like recreate one of her looks using her brushes. So if you guys want to see that, let me know, and I will do that. But yeah, just for the sake of like speeding this video up, I just want to go ahead and get on with the makeup look. So it is the end of the day. I'm not going to worry about putting on any SPF. I did have it on for all of today until I took it off. So I'm just going to start by using this Hollywood Flawless filter, and I've got this in the lightest shade. It's 1 Fair, and I usually just start by like swiping this on. I know that Katie does it differently, but like I said, I'm just going to kind of use this like I already would, but I'm just going to use her tools, and I'm not going to use a sponge, which usually I use a sponge for everything. So what I've been doing is using that product as well as my primer. This is the First Aid Beauty, I think Ultra Repair, something like that, I don't know. But yeah, I just use both of these and then mix them to make like a really glowy base. It's been a while since I've put like moisturizer on either. I did it this morning, so hopefully this will be like glowy enough. We can always add some stuff if we need to. Typically I would just use my hands to blend this in, but I'm going to just pick out a brush and go for it. This is the number 6 brush, and it's kind of like a flat brush, and I'm just going to use this to kind of like blend everything in. I'm not sure how I'm going to use all of these brushes. A lot of these are shapes that I don't typically use, but that's something I really like about Katie's makeup style, is that, you know, she really makes me want to use products that I typically only ever use for one thing or one purpose, and then use them for different things. I just find that like using brushes takes longer. Do you guys feel like that? I don't know. I think my sponge just like makes everything quick, effortless, and it looks good in the end. And yeah, I might end up like fast forwarding through the rest of this, but I'm just doing that same thing to get this really glowy base. Okay, I think this is like mostly blended in, but when I add some coverage based products, I think that it will kind of help it blend in more. So I'm going to still use this brush since it's got all this like primer and glowiness in it, and mix it with my concealer. So I'm just going to go ahead and use my concealer. I'm going to use this one from Too Faced. This is the Born This Way concealer. I've got it in the shade Marshmallow, and I am just going to put some of this on the back of my hand, and I want to use the same brush to distribute it, because I think that is gonna help since it's got the glowy base in it. I'm also gonna add a little bit more of the Flawless filter onto the back of my hand, just right next to that concealer, and I'm going to mix them all before putting it on my face. So this is kind of the situation. This is the concealer, that's the Hollywood Flawless filter, but like I said, I'm just going to be mixing them all together and really getting it in the brush. This is something that Katie like preaches in her KJH Academy videos. So yeah, I love watching those videos, by the way. If you've never watched them, follow her on Instagram, and she does these, usually they're live videos where she teaches you how to do a look, and you can recreate it and tag her in it, and then she picks 9 other people and then posts them a few days later on her page. So probably, it got a lot in the brush, which I can see why she does that, but I feel like I need to kind of spread it out first. I also usually put concealer on over my foundation, but we're just gonna try this. Okay, I've gotten a hang of this brush. I do think I like a more fluffy brush though, so I'm going to switch because I might as well just like use a couple extra since that's kind of the purpose of this. But it's a nice brush for what it is. I just don't typically use that shape, so I'm gonna have to play around with that more. But I'm gonna go in with one of the number 8 brushes, the one that she's got 2 of, and I did clip that little hair that I told you guys about. So with what's left on my hand, I'm just going to run this into all of the product as well. Okay, I definitely much prefer this. I think that flat brush just put on a little bit too much product, and that was probably my fault, but I am preferring this. I would never use a brush this small for essentially a base product, but just wanted to give it a shot. I find it so amusing to like watch her do her makeup because the tools that she uses are just like never what I would have thought to do that with. I just think she's really, really creative. So yeah. All right, this is how we're looking just with the concealer on. I am going to just add, I think, a little bit of foundation. I like a little bit more coverage than I think she does. I've got a lot of redness, and so I just like to cover that. But I'm going to use this foundation that I recently purchased. You guys probably saw this in my Ulta haul video. This is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh foundation. I'm just gonna put this right on top of where I had the concealer, and I have this in the shade Fair 20N, by the way. I always try to mention those because if I'm trying to figure out what shade someone is, I like to go back to their video where I saw them talk about it and watch that, try and figure out their shade. So yeah, I'm just gonna add this. This is like weird for me to like only use a little bit of it, but I'm just gonna run with it. I'm not gonna put it on the eyelids. I do like to use an eyelid, like a eyeshadow primer, so. Do you guys usually use a sponge or brushes? I'm like really interested because I find brushes like a lot more difficult to use than a sponge. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave the base here. As far as that goes, I'm gonna use cream products today, so let me grab some of those. Okay, I'm starting out with bronzer. I'm gonna use my Fenty Cream Bronzer, and I'm gonna use this with the 03 brush. This is one of those duo fiber brushes, and I'm just gonna dip right in and use this for my bronzer. This brush feels super nice and it's blending it out really well. I went a little crazy with the bronzer. I really like this brush. This is awesome. It blended it out super nicely, and obviously it felt soft. Like all of these feel really soft, and I'm sure after you wash them and like use them after that, it'd be great. But I'm just not gonna wait to do that today. So I do think I want to use the other number 8 brush. You know what? I might just use the same one. I think I'm gonna do that. But I do think the number 8 brush will be a good one for my liquid highlight. And I'm just gonna use the Rare Beauty liquid highlight. I've got mine in the shade Enlighten. So I'm just gonna put some on the back of my hand again and go from there. I usually use my fingers to put this product on. I have found that it's the best way to do it. Whoa, okay. I might be changing how I put this product on. Like seriously, every time I use one of the brushes that I already have, it kind of puts it like in a line, and then you can kind of see where I was trying to blend it out, but it doesn't really do the greatest job. Oh, I really like this brush. Okay. Lastly, for the cream products, I'm going to use this Flower Beauty Blush Balm in the shade Bubbly. I'm honestly just like stacking all of this on itself, which I usually would not do, but I don't know why, I just feel like doing that. I think I'm going to use the kind of alternative to that Duo Fiber brush that I used earlier. So this was the number 2 brush and that was the number 3. And just kind of try it out like that. Might have put too much on my hand, but I'll blend it out. See, this is about the time when I'd want to take my sponge and just like go over everything, because I do see like a little bit of that texture kind of showing through on my nose and stuff that I feel like would be a lot more blended with my blender. But I'm just like also not the most skilled with brushes, so that's probably, you know, what it is. But I do just want to mention like everything that I'm noticing, because you know, it's a review, so yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling about that. But I'm going to just go ahead and wipe everything off the back of my hand now, and let's move on to the eyes. So again, I'm not going to do anything like crazy, I don't think. Or should I use this palette? Yeah, let's use this palette. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and prime the lids. I like to use this NARS primer because it's the one I'm just using right now, so I'm going to use that. But I do like to use a primer. I feel like it helps everything stick a little bit better. I probably could have used concealer today, considering I'm not doing anything. To set that, I'm just going to use the number 10 brush. I'm just trying to use, you know, more of the brushes and get a feel for them. I will link below the video that I recently made about my favorite makeup brushes. I just think that these are very unique and they're going to make a really good addition to my collection, but I will put that video in the description box in case you're interested in like specific brushes instead of a whole collection like this. So check for that if you're interested in that. Like I said, I'm going to try and use as many of these brushes as I can. So let's just start with this number 7 brush. It is a pretty densely packed brush, and I'm just going to use this in this shade here, which is Momentum. And I'm just gonna set the base down. I don't always set the base down, but I am trying to use, you know, more brushes. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna go in with the number 11 brush. This one is a little bit curved that way, but it is a pretty fluffy brush. And I think I'm gonna go into Off Balance, which is the shade here. I'm just gonna put this in the crease. I actually think I'm just going to keep this on the outer edge. This brush is nice how it's angled, so it really kind of fits into my crease, if that makes sense. I'm just going to try and kind of blend it up and in slightly when there's not much left on the brush. I'm going to do the same thing to the other eye. Okay, next I'm going to use this number 19 brush, and I'm going to go in with the shade Libra, I think, which is the lavender purpley color. Yeah, I think that'll be good. I'm gonna kind of put this on the inner part of my crease. I don't know why, but like well, I do know why, because she's super inspiring. But KJH Hughes really inspires me to like be more creative and more innovative in the looks that I create. So I really appreciate that about her. I want to participate in more KJH Academy videos. I watch a lot of them, but I don't always recreate the looks, but you know, I really should. I'm gonna take that brush again, the one we were just using, the number 11, and go in with Utopia, which is this like orangey color here. This is a very pigmented color, so I'm really gonna tap my brush off here, and I just want to put this like slightly throughout the crease to just lighten it up a little bit, make it a little bit brighter. I'm going to use this brush with nothing on it. This is the number 13 brush. Just kind of blend everything out up top. I don't want any of the colors to come too high because I really wanted that little line that she does there, but we will come back to that. Next, I'm going to use my NYX glitter glue and just put this down on the lid as a base for a shimmer shade, and then I'll be right back. Okay, the shimmer shade that I'm going to use is my favorite one in this palette, Nebula. And it is this one here on the bottom, and I love this shade. So I'm gonna use the number 14 brush. Usually I would use my finger, but I think that was my dog. But anyways, I think that this brush will do a good job. It is a very flat and pointed brush, and it's pretty densely packed, and it does have like a slight curve to it. Again, I feel like you guys can't see that, but it does curve upwards a little bit. So I'm just going to pick that up and start packing it on. I think I'm gonna put this like all over the whole lid. This brush is really nice to put a shade in the corner without getting it into your crease. It would have been smart for me to do my eyes first, but I didn't expect to use this glittery of a shade. But keep in mind, this shade does have a lot of fallout. Okay, this brush worked really well for that. It packed it in the corners very nicely without getting it all over the crease. It also helped to just like press it on there instead of swiping it with my finger to not have as much fallout. There is still, however, a little bit of fallout. So I'm just going to use this large number 1 brush. It's the biggest brush in the collection, just to kind of swipe away. Ooh, this one's a little bit too dense for swiping, but yeah, let me try a different one. I'm gonna use the other number 8 brush and just kind of swipe that away. My base is like slightly tacky still. I haven't set it, and I did use a little bit more product as far as the glowy base. That can be a little bit sticky, so that's okay. Let's pick another brush, so why not? I'm gonna use the number 12 brush, which is another kind of flat, densely packed brush. I think I'm gonna go in with the shade Karma, which is this like a deeper orange shade here. And I wanna do that little shadow that she does sometimes, just right here. This might be a little too bright of a color to do this with, but you know, yeah. I think I kind of messed that up, but it's okay. All right, with the first brush that we used, it's got a little bit of that Utopia bright orange shade on there, but it's the number 11 again. I'm just gonna go in with the shade Momentum, which is kind of the like my skin tone shade, and just buff that out. I don't like that, so we're just gonna do away with it. I really like how it looks when she does it, and I'd probably like it on myself with a different look, but I think the glitter in this look is just kind of the main attraction there. Okay, let's go ahead and do brows. I'm just gonna leave the eyes like they are. I think I've used enough of the brushes to be able to see like how I like them, but I'm gonna use this Benefit Ka-Brow. It's in the shade 3 with her brush that's got the spoolie on it, and I'm just gonna go ahead and comb through. It's gonna take some getting used to, I have a feeling, because the brush is slightly bent, but I just want to test it out. Yeah, I think they worked really well. It's definitely gonna take some getting used to as far as the angle goes. And I think one brow might be easier to do than the other one on yourself because of how the angle is, but that just might be me personally, because I don't want to do it like this. So it might just be the way I hold my brushes. Yeah, I don't like doing my right brow with this brush. I think it's just the way I hold it though. The spoolie is really nice though. Okay, I like how the brows turned out overall. I don't really do a lot to my brows, so, you know, I might not be the best judge of that. I'm also not very good at doing my brows, but I think it's nice. I'm just gonna go ahead and set the brows, put some mascara on, and a lip, and then I'll be back because I'm sure this video is like 2 hours long by now. Okay, lastly, I'm just going to use my number 7 pressed powder and the number 1 brush and just put a little bit of powder on my face. I'm just going to kind of powder underneath the eyes, on the forehead, and then underneath my bronzer. I don't really like my forehead to be super shiny. And then I like to do this lately, putting it underneath my like contour, but it's really just bronzer. So I also just wanted to be able to use another brush. And then, because I like everything to be set and add a little bit more coverage on the cheeks, but I really do like a glowy base. So I'm going to just go ahead and use my ColourPop Pretty Fresh Setting Mist. And again, this is normally where I would use my beauty blender or sponge or whatever and like press everything in. But alright guys, that is going to be it for today's video. I really enjoyed using these brushes from KJH, Hughes, and Spectrum. I think they did a great job. I think they spent like almost 2 years on this collab, so it was definitely well thought out, very well executed as well. I must say, I used about half of them. Now, you know, we got some dirty brushes, which we love to see it, right? But anyways, if you guys enjoyed today's video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you want to see more Get Ready With Me videos and just content with these brushes, as well as many other things on my channel. So yeah, with that being said, that's going to be it for me today, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.